Hi, fourth graders. It's Thursday. And today, on Thursday, the spirit habit of the week is the doubler. And we have to remember that the doubler is when we think or write down and reflect about a happy time in our life. And as we go ahead and I go through the lesson, at some time in the lesson, I am going to share with you my doubler or my happy time of my favorite part of April so far. So listen out for that because that's what we are going to be recording on Seesaw. So let's go ahead and jump onto the lesson. Today is a close read, and this is our integration of the two texts. And I've went ahead and I've already snipped the two texts right there on the screen. And the question we are going to be responding to today is, according to these two texts, what issue did migrant workers face? Use text evidence from both texts to support your answer. So before we even start, we have to make sure that we understand this question. So, what issue? We have to remember that the word issue is referring to a problem. So, what problem did migrant workers face? Migrant is somebody who moved somewhere, moved maybe from one country to another. And so, what issues did migrant workers face? We've read about in the past two texts. We had people come into the United States. We had people from Mexico. We had people from China. We had people from Japan. And they also talked about European people come into the United States, and a lot of them came here to work. So we are going to be looking for the issues or the problems that they faced when they came to the United States to work. And then we're going to be finding that text evidence. So let's go ahead and start off by close reading Caesar, Si se puede, yes we can. Reminder, we are looking for an issue. This is a poem. It says, and I want to remind you, this is a snip of it, so it's right in the middle. It says, how did Caesar do it? Not eating at times, a fast for love to draw attention to nonviolence, a fast for life to draw the attention of the world to campesinos with breathing difficulties, campesinos with skin rashes, campesinos dying of cancer because of pesticides that the government insisted did no harm. So right here in this stanza, we do learn that there were a lot of issues. We learn that there were skin rashes and they were dying of cancer and they were having breathing difficulties. And this was all because of those pesticides that the government insisted did no harm. So, what we realize here is that people were getting sick working because the government wasn't protecting them. Protection. So no government protection. And where I see that is that last part of the stanza, which I will show you right here. It's line, remember that it's 15, 16, 17, line 17 through 21, 22, 23, 24. So to draw the attention of the world to campesinos with breathing difficulties, campesinos with skin rashes, campesinos dying of cancer because of pesticides that the government insisted did no harm. Now I'm going to go ahead and close read natural resources and workers, and I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for an issue these migrant workers faced when they came to America. Paragraph 9. During the war, new factory jobs opened up. So many farm workers left the fields for factory jobs that paid better, but farms still needed workers. The United States started the Braceros Manual Laborers Program. It gave Mexicans limited visas to work in California's fields, but it prevented them from becoming citizens. The program was controversial because many farm owners broke government rules designed to protect these new farm workers and instead paid them very low wages. So right now, I see that the government's not protecting these Mexican farm workers either. This program ended in 1964, but many undocumented farm workers from Mexico and Central America who did not have official permission to work in the United States continued to work in California anyways. By 1965, mostly Mexican and Filipino farm workers formed unions. These are groups of people who came together to ensure that they receive fair wages and good working conditions from employers. So I see that that is the same problem here. No government protection. Okay. And then what really stood out to me is that it gave them these visas to work in the fields, except it wasn't protecting them. So right here in paragraph 9, it gave Mexicans limited visas to work in California's fields, but it prevented them from becoming citizens. So it said, yeah, come here and work, but you're not going to become a citizen. That's not very fair. So here's my text evidence. And now I'm going to take this information and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write my RRJ. So insert, oops, had a little problem here. Just so I don't have to deal with this, I already have my information. I can go ahead and get rid of that. I want to remind myself of this question because it's going to make it nice and easy for me to restate the question when I write my RRJ. Oh man, I am having some difficulties here. Layout, get rid of these columns. Okay. So when I go to restate the question, what issues did migrant workers face? An issue that migrant workers faced is that they had no government protection. Oh, I keep writing text. Protection. Okay, so right now I have my R and my A. Now I need text evidence. So I'm going to use exactly what it states in here. So I can go ahead and start off with Caesar, si se puede, yes, we can. In Caesar, si se puede, it states in lines, it says it here, it states in lines 17 to 24 to draw attention, and then we have that text evidence. We can go ahead and say this shows me that the farm workers were expected to work in the field around these chemicals that caused harm because the government didn't ban them. They said they don't do any harm, you can keep working in the fields, which we know is not fair. In natural resources and workers, it states, of course I'm going to change all my formatting after this. It states in paragraph 9, it gave Mexicans limited visas to work in the California fields, but prevented them from becoming citizens. This shows me that the United States wanted people to come to America to help work, but did not want to give them the rights. So then we can go ahead and say migrant workers faced many issues such as not having government protection. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this just by doing some formatting. I always want to double check just to make sure that I do have everything that I need inside of my inside of my RRJ, and I see an issue that the migrant workers face. There's my R. We have our answer that they had no government protection. Now I have my first C, which is citing evidence. And then my E. Okay, I have my next C, which I did in green. And then I had my second E, I did in purple, and then my wrap-up sentence. Alrighty, so I want to go ahead and read it all the way through to make sure I answer the question. An issue that migrant workers face is that they had no government protection. In Caesar, si se puede, yes, we can, it states in line 17 to 24, to draw attention of the world to campesinos with breathing difficulties, campesinos with skin rashes, campesinos dying of cancer because of pesticides that the government insisted did no harm. This shows me that the farm workers were expected to work in the fields around these chemicals that caused harm because the government wouldn't ban them. In Natural Resources and Workers, it states in paragraph 9, it gave Mexicans limited visas to work in California's fields, but it prevented them from becoming citizens. This shows me that the United States wanted people to come to America to help work, but did not want to give them the rights. Migrant workers faced many issues, such as not having government protection. Okay. So, boys and girls, today we did find text evidence within the text. We organized our thoughts using a graphic organizer and then wrote a response using the RACE format. As we go ahead and you go and answer your question, you're going to be logging on to Seesaw, and I want you to go ahead and do the doubler. Like we talked about that habit. My doubler, my favorite time of April, is teaching my new puppy dog tricks. My puppy knows how to do paw now. Of course, she knows how to sit, how to lay down, and how to roll over. So that's been my favorite part of April. What's yours? Go ahead and tell me mine as well as yours on Seesaw.